Hello, this is Kara from Kara Tarot, doing a VR that I really didn't think I would do. It is hashtag only one deck from Jay at, I think it's Iridescent Tarot. I'll have it written correctly in the title and down below. I saw a couple people that I regularly follow do this. I think the one that got me was Tarot for Tired People, because she chose a deck that I love a lot, the Influence of the Angels, and I do think it's a good pick. But then it really got me thinking about what would I be looking for if I could only have one. And I surprised myself that if I could only have one deck, it would be the Francois Poilly Tarot, which is a Minchiate deck. I had a lot of different things going on in my head as to what I would be looking for in a deck. You know, and in this make-believe world where we can only have one deck, one of the things I thought of was, well, this deck has playing card pips, so, you know, if I'm in this world where I can only have one deck, then I could play playing card games with this as well. As with the Minchiate deck, it has many more majors. It has the seasons, it has the virtues, it has the ages of man, it has zodiological symbols, and it has the senses. Those are all part, and the virtues. Let's not forget the virtues. So there's just a lot there, and certainly if there's a lot more to contemplate with those being added to the majors. The component that it doesn't have is quotations, which, you know, is usually part of my part of the things that I like in a deck. But as far as, you know, if you can only have one deck forever and ever, the historical aspect of this deck was part of it, because I was leaning heavily towards the Visconti Sforza. But then I remembered the pips in this deck and how that would come in handy if you could only have one deck. This whole hashtag may be an example of supreme overthinking, and that's okay. I'm a Virgo. We do that. So that's how I arrived at this choice. You will notice this is a small deck. I generally prefer large decks, and that's why I think I went to the Visconti Sforza. But then I thought of this, and I thought this would be it if I could only have one. And as Jay said in the initial description, it doesn't mean it's the deck that you would pick if you were, you know, if there were a natural disaster and you were running out the door. It doesn't mean it's your favorite deck. This would be the deck you could pick if you could only have one forever. So that's my winner, and I'll just set that there while we discuss the runner-up. Now, the runner-up is probably going to be incredibly boring for you, and it's the Rider-Waite Smith. I am one of the people that really loves the artwork of the Rider-Waite Smith. It was my first deck ever, and I end up becoming impressed and re-impressed and re-impressed with this artwork. This is a period of artwork that I like very much anyway. The clarity of the images and the basicness of it Now, I'm showing you many different versions of this because I have more versions of this deck than of anything else. I have 1, 2, I think 5 decks. And these are some of the versions that I like. Again, one of the reasons, if I could only have one deck, there would be no problem picking up a book. There are more books written about this deck and using this deck as, you know, for deepening your working with this deck than any other deck. And so that would be part of, you know, why I was considering this as a first choice. And then the version as a follow-up, I assume I have to pick one, and this would be the one. Surprisingly, for someone like me, I do like borders in general. This borderless version has really spoken to me. And this is the Smith-Waite tarot deck. Borderless edition. I love the feel of these, although these, the kind of coffee stained ones, do also feel lovely. I like the shape of these a little better. There's just everything about it. So this would be my follow-up, my second choice, if I were allowed to have a second choice. I'll put that over here. That's a second choice. Now, for Oracle decks, it's a lot harder for me because most of you know, Oracle decks are not a primary feature for me. But only one came to mind right away, The Secrets of the Mystic Grove. This, I just feel that it goes with so many decks. Certainly, it would go better with the Rider-Waite Smith than it would with the Poilly deck. But I guess I have to admit, if I could only have one deck, I wouldn't be grabbing an Oracle anyway. But this would be it if I did. I just adore this artwork, the innocence of it, the bright colors. As I said, it goes with many, many of my decks. But, you know, in this kind of situation, we're talking about how does it stand on its own, and it stands on its own beautifully. The choice of the words are so distinct, and then the 3 key words to help you understand the meaning of the word, the mixture of flowers and animals and dare I say it, hairstyles. All of those things mixed together to make this. This would be my winner for an Oracle deck. And then I really don't have a second choice except I have a new deck that I don't know very well, and I do think it's going to rise up through the ranks. And this is the Omens of the East Oracle, which I specifically got to help me to pair it with Terra Volatile, which is generally too dark for me, or a bit too dark. And this is not quite as dark as that. The artistic style is very commensurate with Terra Volatile. And I just think it's very deep. And there are a lot more cards. I mean, if I were, so that would be another reason to, but, so this would be my second, my runner-up. This is, a lot of you know, this is more the art style that I lean towards, this kind of collage mixed with historical classical artwork. This is the art style that speaks to me very strongly. So, and again, the only reason that I'm saying second runner-up is I don't know this deck well enough at this point to know what I would really think of it. So that's a really short VR. So my picks are, the tarot deck would be the Francois Poilly Tarot Minchiate deck. Just there's so much to do with it. There's so many cards. And then in this instance, of only having one, this would be an instance where I did like the small size, because if I only had one, I would be carrying it everywhere with me. So a smaller size is nice. And if I could only have one oracle deck, this would be it. There is nothing that I have in my oracle decks that comes close. So thanks for the fun VR that gives us a chance to think about our cards in a different way, Jay. And I look forward to seeing if you do this VR and what you have to say and what your choices might be. This surprised me. Thank you.